From the outside, it looked like Teyana Taylor had finally found happiness after a long and exhausting marriage to Iman Shumpert. Fans had watched her go through so much, and now, she was glowing again, this time with British actor Aaron Pierre by her side. At first, people loved him. He seemed respectful, quiet, and supportive. He didn't chase attention or drama. To many, he looked like the type of man Teyana had always deserved. He wasn't flashy or loud, he simply appeared to adore her in a calm and peaceful way. But behind all those sweet moments and smiling pictures, something more troubling was quietly unfolding. People often say that the most dangerous situations are the ones you don't see coming. And in Teyana's case, that warning became all too real. In the beginning, everything with Aaron seemed smooth and almost too perfect. Their chemistry was visible, and whenever they were seen together, there was a calmness that made fans believe she had finally found real love. She was posting more, laughing again, and showing little pieces of joy on social media. It looked like she had found light after a long storm. But slowly, things began to change in ways that were easy to miss unless you were really paying attention. Aaron didn't yell. He didn't argue in public. But he asked questions, sharp ones that made Teyana hesitate. A close friend who worked with her on set explained it like this: he made her feel like she was never enough without actually saying anything mean. He'd just pause, give a look, or let out a sigh. That was all it took. It started affecting how she saw herself. She began second-guessing her clothes, her performances, even her posts. People close to her noticed she was becoming unsure of herself. And whenever someone asked if she was okay, she'd brush it off with a smile and change the subject. Then came the real shocker: Aaron's past started catching up to him. Out of nowhere, one of his ex-girlfriends broke her silence online. At first, it was just vague messages like, "Beware of the man who stays quiet but makes you feel like you're always wrong." Most people ignored it. They thought it was just someone bitter trying to create problems. But then she started sharing proof. Voice recordings, text messages, and old photos began to circulate quietly on private forums, and eventually, they made their way onto Twitter. In those messages, the Aaron people thought they knew vanished. He wasn't kind or caring, he was cold and controlling. He didn't use anger, he used guilt. He manipulated through silence, confusion, and emotional withdrawal. Worst of all, every woman in his life had been left feeling like they were the ones falling apart, not him. That ex said she had stayed quiet for months, but when she saw a now deleted photo of Aaron holding Teyana's daughter with the caption, "My world," she couldn't hold back anymore. She said, "He doesn't love her. He loves what she gives him: fame, protection, access." Suddenly, people started rethinking everything they had seen. They watched old interviews, looked at photos with a new lens, and even analyzed Teyana's recent posts. Something felt different. A viral tweet compared Aaron's actions to emotional manipulation tactics, and thousands of women replied, saying they recognized the signs. Rumors then surfaced about a strange scene at a private family event. Teyana had taken her daughters to a small birthday party for her niece, just close family, no press. Aaron reportedly showed up without an invitation. One guest said he tried to take control of the situation, talking about enrolling the girls in school near his new place and referring to himself as a father figure. Teyana was shocked. They hadn't even talked about that. In fact, they were already starting to create distance, but Aaron didn't seem to accept it. People who were there said Teyana looked frozen. She didn't speak for almost a full minute. Then she calmly stood up, held her daughter's hand, and left. No drama, no shouting, but she didn't look back. The next day, Aaron's presence was completely wiped from her social media. No photos, no tags. Her Instagram story had a new quote: "Some people love the version of you they can control. The real you scares them." And that's when everything broke open. More of Aaron's exes came forward. Some spoke quietly, others shared screenshots and texts. One woman posted, "Once you leave him, you realize how heavy your heart had become." Another just commented under a viral thread, "We tried to warn her. The vibe wasn't messy, it was heavy." It felt like a group of women who had all survived the same storm. They weren't out to ruin him. They were finally letting the truth breathe. Aaron, on the other hand, said nothing. No comments, no posts, not even a denial. The same silence that he reportedly used to control relationships now played out in front of the world. But this time, people were watching and they weren't buying it. Sources close to Teyana say it wasn't the heartbreak that crushed her. It was realizing how close she had come to losing herself. Aaron had never insulted her. He never raised his voice, but he made her doubt her instincts. He used charm instead of chaos. And for someone like Teyana, strong, intuitive, deeply protective, that truth hurt the most. She hadn't just dated him. She had welcomed him into her peace, her home, and her healing journey. And he had performed his role so well, it almost worked. Behind the scenes, people in the industry started putting the pieces together. Things that once seemed like romantic gestures now felt like calculated moves. A stylist said Aaron was always just behind her in photos, always there, always blending into her spotlight. A journalist revealed that Aaron's team had been pushing for public appearances, front row seats at fashion shows, magazine features, and couple branding deals. Aaron wasn't just dating her, one insider said. He was building a name for himself using her image. But what really broke people's hearts was remembering how Teyana had defended him. In an interview earlier that year, when someone hinted that Aaron might be using her for fame, she shut it down. "Not every man is out here chasing clout," she said. "Some of us deserve soft love too." She believed in him. She trusted him. She stood up for him. And now, looking back, that loyalty felt like the deepest cut. Because in the end, she didn't just lose a relationship. She nearly lost herself. From the outside, it looked like Teyana Taylor had finally found her happy ending. After everything she went through during her rocky marriage with Iman Shumpert, fans were just relieved to see her smiling again. This time, it wasn't just any man by her side, it was British actor Aaron Pierre. At first, everything about Aaron felt like a breath of fresh air. He was soft-spoken, respectful, and didn't seem like the type who chased attention. He stayed out of the spotlight and let Teyana shine. And that alone made people feel like she had finally found someone who truly understood her worth. But slowly, that picture-perfect story began to change. What once felt calm started to feel calculated. Fans who once praised Aaron for being grounded and private started noticing the cracks. And then, something happened that no one expected. Ian Shumpert, Teyana's ex, broke his silence. Iman didn't say much. In fact, he didn't even mention names. He simply posted a photo of himself walking hand in hand with their daughter. The caption read, "Never needed to be asked. Always showed up." It was simple, but the message was powerful. That image of a father quietly doing his job hit harder than any insult or argument ever could. The post went viral almost immediately, because in all the noise, the drama, and the back and forths, there was something that couldn't be ignored: the children. This story wasn't just about a woman being hurt by a man again. It became about something deeper, about trust, about protection, about a mother who had tried to build a peaceful life and protect her children from unnecessary chaos. Teyana had been careful. She had kept her private life guarded. She gave love another chance. And Aaron had walked right into that space, not out of love, but as many began to believe, for personal gain. As more people began speaking up, the polished image Aaron had created for himself began to fall apart. At first, fans saw him as a calm, grounded man who avoided the drama. But now, that same behavior felt cold and calculating. What once looked like maturity now came off as emotional manipulation. His silence, once seen as peaceful, started to feel like a tactic, one he used to avoid accountability and control the situation without ever raising his voice. Meanwhile, Teyana also went quiet. But her silence wasn't like Aaron's. Hers didn't feel like avoidance, it felt like strength. It was the silence of someone who had seen enough, someone who didn't need to explain herself anymore. It wasn't fear or sadness. It was confidence. It was the calm of a woman who had finally realized her own power and decided to protect her peace above everything else. Fans saw the shift, and they showed up for her. Her comment sections filled with love-red hearts, prayer hands, words of encouragement. Other celebrities even began to show their support. Some reshared old videos of Teyana being strong and wise, while others opened up about their own experiences with emotional abuse. No one had to name names, people understood what Teyana had been through.